This is really good. They're laughing at you, you know. They are so laughing at you. And you just don't get
And
it.
you got to remember, the person that's sitting in the background is the Vatican. It's the Pope, because the Vatican owned the Virginia Company.
How do they do that?
Remember 1213 when the Pope told the king and all the subjects of Great Britain that they were excommunicated and their souls would go to hell when they died, and if they didn't want that, then the Pope would recommunicate the people and the king, but for that he wanted all the subjects and the king's property, and the king turned it over to him in 1215, actually 1213.
Who's on the throne then? Was that one, King John?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he did, and he relinquished all the land and all the
We
British
are
Empire.
laughing. And what are they laughing about? They are laughing at you. Because you don't get their scam. You still are involved in worldly politics and have not understood that all that is an antichrist theater from the beginning, using Jesuitical ratio studiorum from the beginning
So the
until
Pope is
the end.
really sitting there watching what's going on over here, and of course when the king and they had the 1783 treaty, the Pope says, that's my property.
Well,
I'm losing everything if you turn it over and they become free.
well, here we go, and I had sent you this. Charles Wilcox dug it up somewhere, and that was the text of a papal bull from Pope Leo XIII in 1891, and it states throughout that, and especially at the end, as he called it, he said the Romanist Church has the rights to everything. That's their mindset. That's what they believe.
Yeah, that's the tenet of the Catholic Church, is that no man anywhere in the world can own a possession. They have no rights of possession. The Church owns it.
And I want to tell you, you had mentioned of this, and you had said it happened in New York. Not a big deal. I just wanted to mention that I actually took a look for the only time that a pope kissed the terra firma of the United States. That was John Paul II, October 1st, 1979, and it was on the tarmac of Logan Airport in Boston.
Right.
That's when he kissed the ground. Everybody thought that was because he had a bad flight and he was happy. I'm kidding.
No.
But, I mean, the thing is, everybody thinks that's so neat. What it is he just went ahead and claimed it.
Yeah, it's his property, so he got down and he kissed it. My mother country.
Yeah, and they asked him, why didn't you do it again? And they gave some kind of excuse for it in the papers, and you can read it still if you do a search, especially, I guess, in the Boston newspapers, but whatever. He said he never had to do it again, and there was a reason for it, but we know why he didn't have to do it again.
And they
So,
are
one
laughing
time will
at
cover
you.
it all.
But you have to understand that it is all a theater they are playing right before our eyes, and because they know that, they are sitting there enjoying that dinner and laughing at you. Laughing at you because, oh, the world wants to be deceived. Well, let's
Shortly thereafter,
deceive it.
British trained provocateurs known as the Knights of the Golden Circle became somewhat, I guess, involved in the southern states, reportedly beginning paramilitary organizations. They called them shooting clubs, and this was more or less getting them ready, though they may not have known it, the men of the South, for what would be a coming battle. Now, is that anything that you covered, or do you want to speak to it, please?
Well, that's a good point, because let me bring in Lincoln's direct quote, and this is here's his quote. Now, I'm going to read it verbatim out of the book. This American Civil War of 1861-1865 would never have been possible without the sinister influence of the Jesuits. We owe it to popery that we now see our land redden with the blood of her noblest sons. Though there were great differences of opinion between the South and the North on the question of slavery, neither Jeff Davis, he was the president of the Confederacy, nor any one of the leading men of the Confederacy would have dared to attack the North had they not relied on the promises of the Jesuits under the mask of democracy, the money and the arms of the Roman Catholic, even arms of France, were at their disposal if they would attack
Jesuitical Ratio Studiorum, political worldwide theater. And they are sitting there in their expensive seats, laughing at you, openly, without even masquerading it.
If they could hear what Professor Samuel Morse, that's the famous Morse code guy, has said to me of the plots made in the very city of Rome, i.e. the Vatican, to destroy this republic, and if they could learn how the Roman Catholic priests, nuns, and monks, which daily land on our shores under the pretext of preaching their religion, instructing the people in their schools, taking care of the sick in the hospitals, are nothing but the emissaries of the Pope, of Napoleon, and other despots of Europe, to undermine our institutions, alienate the hearts of our people from our Constitution and our laws, destroy our schools, and prepare a reign of anarchy here as they have done in Ireland, in Mexico, and in Spain, wherever they are any people who want to be free.
All right.
And that's the end of the quote.
Now,
what Samuel Morse said, and I got his direct quote, "Let us examine the operations of the Austrian Society, the St. Leopold Foundation, for it is hard to work all around us, yes, here in this country, with its headquarters in Vienna," that's Austria, "under the immediate direction and inspection of the Austrian Prince Metternich.
right.
It makes itself already felt through the American Republic. If emissaries are here, who are the emissaries? They are Jesuits. This Roman Catholic society of men that exert their tyranny for upwards of 200 years at length became so formidable to the world, threatening the entire subdivision of all social order, that even Pope, i.e. that's Clement XIV, whose devoted subjects the Jesuits are, must be, by their vow of society, was compelled to dissolve them in 1773. They had not been suppressed, however, for 50 years before the waning influence of popery and deposition required their useful labors to resist the light of democratic liberty, and the Pope Pius VII, simultaneously with the formation of the Holy Alliance in Europe, revived the order of the Jesuits with all their power. Now, that was in 1814 when they did that. In exchange for his release from prison, where he had spent 5 years under the Jesuit persuasion. That was Pope Pius VII, who was in jail, and then they released him. And do Americans need to be told what Jesuits are? If any are ignorant, let them inform themselves of their history without delay. No time is to be
Cardinals,
lost.
bishops, and priests from the Roman Catholic Church, the synagogue of Satan, politicians, and also Protestant pastors from apostate Protestant belief systems. Lutheran Church, Methodist Church, Baptist Church, Seventh-day Adventist Church, I don't care. All organized religion is serving today the Antichrist.
Their workings are before you in every day's events. They are a secret society, a sort of Masonic order with super-added features of revolting odiousness and 1,000 times more dangerous. They are not merely priests or priests of one religious creed. They are merchants and lawyers and editors and men of any profession having no outward badge in this country, to the USA, by which to be recognized. They are all about in your society. They can assume any character, that of angels of light or ministers of darkness, to accomplish their one great end, the service upon which they are sent, wherever that service may be. They are educated men, that's Jesuits, prepared and sworn to start at any moment and in any direction and for any service commanded by the General of the Order, the Superior General, the Black Pope, bound to no family, community, or country by the ordinary ties which bind men, and sold for life for the cause of the Roman Pontiff. That's it. That's what Samuel Morse said to Lincoln.